Pep Guardiola, the manager of Manchester City, has held his press conference ahead of the game of Arsenal and has gone ahead and referred to Arsenal as the best team in the English Premier League. Guys, do you sense what I'm sensing? Do you smell what I'm smelling? All right, we are going to discuss all that and more into this podcast here onto the Rokani Media Football. Rokan David being my name as usual, and don't forget to smash the like button, comment and share, and guys, subscribe because we want to hit 12,000 subscribers. Continue to subscribe. How do you subscribe? Lower right bottom corner, that's the place to be. Smash the black button that has the word subscribe. After smashing it, hit the notification bell. That will enable you get notified every time I upload a video onto this channel. I'm done with the preview. Predicted lineups are done. Now we get into the presses of these managers. That of Mikel Arteta is coming up shortly, and I'm going to react to it and tell you what he said about facing his former boss at Man City, known as Pep Guardiola. Now, let's jet straight into what Pep Guardiola said as he prepares to go on and really take on a side called Arsenal at the Emirates. He has said, Arsenal so far are the best team in the Premier League. We felt it a couple of weeks ago. The commitment, they are sharp. It will be a big battle in the departments. You have to be ready. That's what he said, and that's what has been reported by Dan Murphy. He's obviously the correspondent of Manchester City at the Manchester Evening News Desk. So, is Pep Guardiola saying the truth or not? Obviously, I believe he has hit the nail on the top. Arsenal is the best team in the league. I don't see anyone who really has to put a doubt onto that, because the table indicates so. Arsenal has played 21 games and they're having 51 points. That is Arsenal for you. City have even played a game more than them, but they've not surpassed them. You get? City has played 22 games. Arsenal has played 21, and they are all tied. They are all in. Sorry, Arsenal is having 51 points and City is having 45 points. City is having what? 48? Guys, let me be exact. I don't want to come here and really tell lies about things that are really written all over social media. And I can see the Premier League table here. Arsenal is having 41 points. City is having 48. So, 3 points. 3 points are separating these two teams. So, we are waiting to see how things are going to go and happen, because Pep Guardiola is saying Arsenal is the best team in the world. The table indicates so. The way the consistency Arsenal has really gone ahead to really orchestrate is really a title winning team. That's it. It's a title winning team. With them left with 17 games to play, those are how many points to play for? Those are 52 points to play for. Can they gather out some 49? Let's wait and see how these things are going to pan out. But the manager is talking about the battles that are going to be into the departments of every team. Remember, the departments. We are having the defense department, midfield department, and the forward or striking departments. Now, I've done all that in the match preview. If I told you want to know the battles and which battles you expect to see into that game, obviously go into my previous video I've recorded. I've talked about the battles: Thomas Partey, Rodri, Saka versus Nathan Ake, Gabriel Martinelli or Trossard versus Liko Lewis or Kyle Walker, Jack Grealish versus Ben White or Tomiyasu, Haaland versus Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes. Lots of battles have been broken down into that preview that I did, I think, like 2-3 hours ago. You can check it out. So that is Mikel Arteta. It's not Mikel Arteta. It's Pep Guardiola hinting about the battles that he expects to see in the game of Arsenal. Then he went ahead to really inform us about how Arsenal have really gone ahead to give them a game in the FA Cup where they won them by 1-0 and they scored that goal late. He's saying, listen, after Arsenal in the FA Cup, there was this togetherness. They are incredible human beings. I have no complaints. Everyone makes mistakes. Me first. The mood is good, really good for many years. So He's talking about the mood in between him and Mikel Arteta. The mood is good, and he believes that they're going to have a very good game. But hints about the FA game, where I believe Arsenal had a better game than City, but Arsenal just failed. Sorry about that. Arsenal just failed to compose itself to put themselves in a winning position. That's it. But if at all Arsenal had really utilized their chances they created, because I think they created some good chances in the first half and they couldn't really execute them. But Man City got that one chance, and over Jack Grealish just went ahead to gate a return pass. Was it a return pass? It wasn't a return pass. He just found that pass to Nathan Ake, and Nathan Ake used his weak right foot to bury that ball into the bottom corner, and it was really a very beautiful goal, and that's the only goal that really saw Man City knock Arsenal out of the FA Cup. That is the third round. But as things stand, you all know that Man City are really not an easy team, but Arsenal is really the informed team, and this time round I believe they're going to give them a game. Then Pep Guardiola again had the following to say: that it's important we take the point. The best team so far could not, but after Nottingham Forest, Champions League, 6 games away, I have a feeling many things can happen. Tomorrow can help us be there, but there are many games tough for us. So, what I've picked about this, firstly, is Pep acknowledging that Arsenal had a chance to take points and really be further ahead of them, but they couldn't take those points. That's it. So, obviously, it's going to bite back at Arsenal, but trust me, the game of Newcastle was hard, Everton's game was hard, and that of Brentford was hard, and you don't expect to have a clean slate, to have a rosy path on your way to the title. Those players will at a point X drop in form. But when they drop in form, what are the teams competing with them doing? I think even Pep Guardiola has to look through himself, because Arsenal were beaten by Manchester United, and I think Man City slept a little bit. Arsenal went ahead to draw points against Newcastle and very many other games, but even City has not been consistent. I think let's acknowledge the good work that Arsenal is going to hate to do. At any point in life, there is a drop-off, but how would you react to come out of that drop-off? To me, I believe this game comes in at a very, very, very good time, perfect time, because it's a game that is either giving Arsenal a bounce back or not. These players know that if we lose to City, we are done, because City can stretch to very many wins that Arsenal did in the beginning of the season. So I believe Arsenal have lost points, but I believe Pep is also hitting about the fixtures they're going to be having after playing Nottingham Forest. Is going to be playing 6 games away, and I don't know what those games are. Let me have a look at their fixture. Let me have a look at their fixture and see. Is it really right they are going to be having 6 games away after playing Nottingham? Because their next game is Nottingham Forest. All right. So after playing Nottingham, they're going to play away at RB Leipzig. They are going to play Bournemouth away. They are going to play Bristol City away. They are hosting Newcastle at home. They are playing away at Crystal Palace. I think was hinting about, I think all of them, because even the Champions League, it involves movement, going to Germany and then returning. That will really give them a very good game, because they're going to be, after playing Leipzig next week, midweek, they're going to play Bournemouth. That's it. Then I think the tricky game is going to be that of Newcastle, but they would have played Bristol City on Tuesday, I think. Then Crystal Palace away, it's going to be a tricky one. Them hosting West Ham, it's not going to be an easy one. They're hosting Liverpool, Southampton. So they're also having a heck of a fixture, and they're also having an away game against Brighton. So he's right, because he's talking through experience, that the fixtures they are going to play are really going to be so much determinant on what points they're really going to accumulate as far as the season is really concerned. Then he talked about VAR having been questioned a lot after making close to 3 or 4 howlers in the week, after denying very many teams their goals and giving away goals that wouldn't have stood. He has said he doesn't know. I know there is a lot of VAR in the last couple of days that people told me, but I don't know. So he's trying to exempt him from really, he's trying to exempt himself from really giving a valid argument about VAR. But the fact is VAR has been inconsistent ever since it was really reinstated into the game. But that doesn't really gate away lots of good things VAR has done. VAR has done a lot of decisions, but those minimal small decisions that are really made by humans are really always the ones that really make sounding. But VAR is really great, and the people running it are the problem. But Pep Guardiola looks like he doesn't want to go ahead and really take a go at VAR because he knows it might be one of the things that are really going to be so much pivotal and instrumental into the game or the result that is going to get between his team Man City and Arsenal. Now, after Pep Guardiola, let's talk about Thierry Henry. He has gone ahead and really said lots of things as he heads into the game of Man City, and he has talked about Bukayo Saka. He said the way he came back from the Euros, missing the penalty, he never looked back since. I just want the team to win and all of that, but I want him to play well in that game to be that player that can decide games. So he was hinting about Bukayo Saka coming out and really being a very good player in the game of City. The game was talking about, obviously, any interview coming right now, it's going to be a player of Arsenal, an ex-player of Arsenal talking about City, because it's the talk of town, it's the talk of the day until that game gets completed, that is tomorrow. But he's hinting about Bukayo Saka, wanting him to go out and really play very well. And I think Bukayo Saka has a debt to pay to Arsenal fans, having been shut down, all pocketed by Nathan Ake, having been pocketed by Nathan Ake at the Etihad Stadium. He needs to come out and do the needful. So he also concluded about the Saka story and said the following, that he names Bukayo Saka as one player he's looking forward to see in the Arsenal game and Man City. So Thierry Henry is really looking towards Bukayo Saka putting Arsenal to where they're supposed to be. And in most of the huge games, Bukayo Saka has really stood out. Against Manchester United, he scored the goal, though United won by 3-1, meaning the first leg at Old Trafford. The second leg, he comes in through, he puts Arsenal ahead by that curling effort that David De Gea couldn't save. Then the game of Liverpool, I think he scored. In the game of Tottenham Hotspur, is the one who really takes that shot that deflects off or rattles off Hugo Lloris, and Jesus taps it at the back of the net. The game of Liverpool, did he score? Yeah, he scored the penalty, the winning penalty, because Alcantara brought Jesus down. It was a penalty. Then in the game of Tottenham Hotspur away, he was responsible for that first goal. Very many huge games has decided, and I think if at all Thierry Henry is really looking forward to him, he has every reason to do so, because this boy has been really integral and instrumental in the wins that Arsenal have really gone ahead to get. Now, towards the game of Arsenal versus Man City, the ex-Arsenal captain who once played for Chelsea and really came into Arsenal and one time cried when they lost to Spurs, that is William Gallas, has said the following: I'm worried about this game for Arsenal, to be honest. Arsenal have had some bad results recently and Man City are starting to look better. Now, is it a comeback of Man City and a degradation of Arsenal's situation? I doubt. Those blips that Arsenal have really gotten are enough. I think they are rising back to the occasion. To me, I'm not worried, because I know the worst result Arsenal is getting tomorrow is a draw. That's the best result City can get, because City have just played away at Tottenham Hotspur in London. They've been beaten by 1-0. Now, you can't tell me that winning against Aston Villa has made them look better. You get? They are playing the best team in the league, and Arsenal have to give themselves a go to this game, because no one has really gone ahead to bossy Arsenal at their stadium. Remember, Arsenal are unbeaten at their stadium, and I see no reason as why someone should worry against City, because I think City was so much worrisome when they had the Jesuses, the Cancelos, Raheem Sterling, the Zinchenkos. But right now, they've lost 4 players and they've not replaced them, according to me, because Haaland is an all and out striker. That's it. Um, Rico Lewis is a very good player, but you can't build everything on him. Then Julian Alves, to me, I believe is a more better suit for Man City than Haaland, because he does the drift-ups, he makes the runs off the balls very well, and his mobility is really out of this world. So I believe no reason to worry. I think Arsenal has everything to take a go to a side known as Manchester City. Now, we conclude this segment by bringing you the Arsenal player who played for Arsenal and then Man City, and he has gone ahead to have the following about the game. He said, Mikel Arteta has managed to bring back the quality of Arsenal and everyone is committed to their aims. Due to the age of Arsenal's squad, if they manage to stay together for 3-4 years, they could challenge for a lot of trophies. So for him, he's hinting about the age bracket of Arsenal players, meaning that they lack experience. But I think Arteta has blended his team very well. When you look at the likes of Jorginho, Thomas Partey, Xhaka, Jesus, Zinchenko, I think in those they're having experience. In the Sakas, Martinelli, Saliba, Ben White, they're having some amazing talent that is really young coming in through, that is really having the hunger to win these games of football. So I believe they're really having a chance. I think I'm giving City the best result to get is a draw, but I don't see City beating Arsenal tomorrow at the Emirates. So guys, thank you for watching in through. Tell me your thoughts about Arsenal being the best team in the league and Thierry Henry watching out for Bukayo Saka in the game of City versus Arsenal at the Emirates. And lastly, your thoughts on William Gallas, the former captain of Arsenal, indicating that he's worried about City because it is getting in shape. But City just lost to Tottenham Hotspur a week ago. Them winning against Aston Villa doesn't make them regain back to their form. So guys, I sign out for now. See you later. May the Almighty bless you abundantly. I sign out for now. See you later. We are returning with what Arteta has said about Man City as they face them tomorrow at the Emirates. Bye-bye.